Highland Valley, for its size, is one of the busiest yards in Pennsylvania. And the Norfolk Southern engines are what power the trains that keep the railroad running on time. This is Rails of Highland Valley. Throughout Pennsylvania, there are many different passenger services. The Philadelphia area on the east side includes SEPTA, some New Jersey Transit, and plenty of Amtrak's, both on the Northeast and Keystone corridors. The Port Authority of Pittsburgh on the west side has their own rapid transit system known as the T, a light rail system running between downtown Pittsburgh and its suburban areas. Pittsburgh is also the western terminus of the Pennsylvanian passenger train running daily between Pittsburgh and New York City via Philadelphia. There are also several tourist railroads in the state, such as the Reading and Northern, Steamtown National Historic Site, and the Strasburg Scenic Railroad. And while not counted as an actual train, Kennywood Amusement Park is what they call the Old Kennywood Railroad, a circuit of rails that takes visitors around the park. The locomotive used to pull a train was featured in the 1939 New York World's Fair and is now converted to gasoline burning. But Pennsylvania, like the majority of other states, is served by Amtrak, the largest passenger railroad in the country. Everyone knows that passenger trains have conductors. Many have their own ways of becoming popular among passengers, crew members, and even the engines. Mr. Morrison is a veteran Amtrak conductor. He grew up in Front Royal, Virginia, where he frequently saw Southern trains pass by. He later moved to Richmond, where he would start his career as a conductor of the Seaboard Coastline, which later became Seaboard System, and then CSX. He continued working for CSX until 1989, where he moved to Pennsylvania and transferred to Conrail. During his time there, many engines became fond of him and would get excited if he was their conductor on their trips. They were sad to see him go in 1997 when he transferred again to Amtrak, where he's remained since. Mr. Morrison is a conductor on several Amtrak routes: Pennsylvanian, the Keystone Service, the Capital Limited, the Richmond Limited, and occasionally the Lakeshore Limited or the Northeast Corridor trains that operate south of Philadelphia. Everyone admires him for his sense of humor, positive attitude, and social skills. Some say he can make anyone's day.
May I have your attention, please? Pennsylvania number 42 is now arriving. This train is heading for New York City, with scheduled stops at Trenton and Newark. If you are a ticketed passenger for this train, please gather your belongings and proceed to the platform for boarding.
We're here. Now time for your rest.
Nice job getting in here, Lily. Now leave the rest of the trip to me.
Oh, thank you. Mr. Morrison is on tour today.
He is? That's exciting.
Amtrak number 42. All aboard!
Mr. Morrison's always enjoyed his job, but he's old and has been doing this for a long time, so it may seem that retirement's arriving real soon. One afternoon, Christian was assigned to take Pennsylvania number 43 back to Pittsburgh.
I can't wait to go horn crazy around horseshoe cars and maybe see my human self in Pittsburgh.
Christian arrived in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He had enjoyed himself all the way, but that was about to change.
Well done as always, Christian.
Same to you, sir. I bet everyone enjoyed your company.
They better enjoy it while they still can, since I'm retired soon.
1.
My age is catching up to me. It's about time old Mr. Morrison's going to retire.
This changed Christian's mood entirely. Then he went to Highland Valley, where Nicholas and Matthew were preparing their train bound for Baltimore, Maryland.
Hey Christian, how's it going, old chap?
Not so well. I heard that veteran conductor Mr. Morrison is retiring soon.
Who's he again?
Maybe the most amazing conductor we've ever had.
I've had a lot of conductors in my life. Just let me jog up my memory, then we can talk about it.
Christian was speechless. Early the next morning, Lily made her morning station stop with the Lakeshore Limited. At the same time, Josiah, Sean, and Zach had already finished with their train while Lillian and Micah were idling.
Hey Lily, Mr. Morrison is retiring. Do you know who he is?
Oh yes, I heard about that. It's a real shame.
It sure is.
Oh well, what can we do?
We can enjoy the last of the time he's here.
Smart idea, Zach. We can make his last week the best week of his life and ours.
Yeah, he won't forget it.
I never forget anything.
Soon it was time for Lily to head out.
I wonder when we'll see Doug again.
Oh yeah, Doug is a good engine to talk to. He takes pride in Amtrak history, and we all know his human self is a retired Amtrak engineer who previously worked for Seaboard Coastline and CSX.
According to 4RR.com, he's working the Silver Meteor right now.
Lillian was right. Doug was indeed taking the northbound Silver Meteor up to Washington, D.C. with Justin. He'd already heard about Mr. Morrison. They had left Rocky Mount not too long ago and were now less than an hour from crossing the Virginia and North Carolina border.
I really like using this route.
Why's that, Doug?
Any journey between Washington, D.C. and Miami is enjoyable. My human self, Doug Riddle, did that all the time. Conductor Morrison worked around here as well.
You mean the man who's retiring soon?
Yeah, and Doug retired in 2012 after Yologo was the last engine he ran.
Interesting. I hope I'll get to attend his retirement party if he's having one.
Hi Lily, great to see you again.
Hey, Nicholas. Did you know that one of our conductors is seen retiring?
I think Christian mentioned it yesterday, but I don't know who he is.
His name is Mr. Morrison.
Yeah, that name doesn't ring my bell. Anyways, Eli and I are going to Industrial Wasteland to visit our friends. Wanna come?
Sure.
So I heard Mr. Morrison is retiring.
He sure is. I hated that guy. He always reported me to the controller in the 80s anytime I misbehaved. Thank God that he is retiring. Burn in hell, Mr. Morrison. Adam, are you retarded? He is not going to die, you idiot.
Come on, you two. I am trying to ask Dave out on a date, but he got granted.
Lily, you're acting like Adam and Winley over here.
Don't call me that.
Hey, look who's here.
Hey guys.
Go away, you nasty EMPs and that little girl.
Don't even think about starting stuff with us, Trey. Otherwise, I'll drill you.
Yeah, Trey. Take your nasty attitude elsewhere.
So Barry, what's been going on over here?
Oh, the usual.
We're just having a typical party where we talk about stuff.
Feel free to join in.
Can we talk about Mr. Morrison?
Who's that, Lily?
One of our favorite Amtrak conductors who soon won't be with us anymore.
Oh, right, I remember him.
Me too, Barry. You see, me, Barry, and Wadey are all ex-SCLians.
As we can tell by your nose headlights, of course.
Absolutely, Nicholas. And we've known you guys long enough for you to know.
So anyways, we know Mr. Morrison because he started his career with us. I remember having him as our conductor sometime.
He would always tell jokes to keep us entertained.
He waves to rail fans.
Anytime he stopped at Collier Yard to await entry, if Michael or my human selves were there, he'd then get out of his cab and BS with them. Then he'd get back when his signal changed.
I never got to know him too well. I was bold after he left for Conrail.
Same with me.
Me 3, but that's a good thing.
You're lucky. You bonked the heck out of me all the time.
Loosen up, Adam.
Hold on, I remember a lot of things, but I think I do remember him now.
You had him too, Nicholas?
Sure did. Me, Dakota, and Eli are ex-Conrail units.
As we can tell by your marker lights or horns.
Yeah, I remember all those interesting stories he told me that one time.
And his friendly greetings every day.
Certainly not for me. He made my trips terrible.
How is that any different for you?
Yeah, Neville, you always have terrible trips.
All because you want to work for my railroad instead of yours.
No offense, but that's a very stupid reason to hate Amtrak.
I actually agree with you, Larry.
It's not only that, but the government can't run my railroad properly and the trains are always arriving late. None of this happens on Via Rail. Now I need to take the California Zephyr.
Just wait until Neville finds out he is to trail.
Yeri, looks like I'll be working alone on this one. No silly engines to bother me.
But Neville was wrong.
Sorry, Neville, but I'm taking the lead.
Not again. This is going to be a terrible journey.
When they were both ready, Marty and Neville departed the station.
Wow, Michael, that was a cool story about Mr. Morrison.
Indeed. I'd be glad to tell you another one of my... Indeed. I'd be glad to tell you another of my Amazon stories when I have the time.
Does Sean know Mr. Morrison? I remember when he became a backup passenger locomotive.
He really only pulls excursion trains with Lillian, Michael, Evelyn, and Raymond. He wouldn't pull Amtrak trains unless he has to rescue us.
Okay, that makes sense.
Well, it was good seeing you guys, but Dakota, Terry, Michael, Barry, and Trey, I need to take your freight train to Collier Yard now.
And later on, we're gonna kick Trey out so he's not trespassing.
And I'll show him.
Don't you dare!
Okay, Matt. See you around, guys.
We'll see you when we see you.
As the engines departed, Dave arrived.
Whoa. What are Nicholas, Lily, and Ely doing here? This is a CSX yard.
Whatever, Dave. The others didn't mind us visiting.
Well, visiting time is over. Come on, Larry, Wadey, and Adam. We need to take Q234.
And I'm leaving.
But first we need to kick these trespassers out.
Shut up! We were getting ready to leave anyway.
And don't ever come back.
Nicholas's job was to take a mixed freight to Allentown with Kara and Will. They had to collect some cars from one of the industries on the mountain.
Hey Kara, are you going south after this trip?
Afraid so. After this trip, I'll be put on a manifest bound for Birmingham.
I see. Too bad you'll miss Mr. Morrison's retirement.
I'm going to miss him after he leaves. He was a nice man.
You know him too, Evelyn? But you guys don't work for Amtrak.
Raymond and I briefly worked for Amtrak after being sold by Penn Central. We never knew Mr. Morrison back then, but he came to work for Conrail when we did office car special trains for them.
He even got to ride in our cabs a few times. He had a lot of FUN.
There he goes again, spelling words instead of saying them.
Alright, you guys, it's time to get going.
Very well. Bye, Raymond. Bye, Evelyn.
Take care.
Have a safe flight, ENRUOJ.
What's that mean? Oh yes, it's journey spelled backwards. Thanks, Raymond, we will.
That still drives me crazy.
As Nicholas, Will, and Kara passed Highland Valley Station, they saw Lilium there.
Hey Kara, check your cab when you get to Allentown.
What?
And when they arrived, she did.
Should we read it?
No, it says do not open until you get back to Highland Valley.
Well, you're not going back yet, so you should give that to me or Nicholas.
Right.
After Nicholas and Will returned to Highland Valley around 5 the next morning, they read what was inside the envelope.
Wow, sweet! Looks like we're invited to Mr. Morrison's retirement party.
At Philadelphia 30th Street Station Saturday evening.
Hey, what's Mr. Edwards doing on the station platform?
Beats me.
The answer was simple. The eastbound Capital Limited arrived at the station. You'll never guess who the conductor was.
Hey, how's it going?
Morning, Wesley. Just making the best of my last few days.
We'll all be sad to see you go.
As Mr. Edwards was talking with Mr. Morrison, his mind brought back memories from many other times he would have a small talk with Mr. Morrison during his runs.
Alrighty, have a good day, Wesley.
Take it easy. Mr. Edwards, was that Mr. Morrison you were talking to? Yes, it was. He's today's conductor on the Capital Limited. Alright, well, Will and I found this. Yep, I heard. We'll all be in Philadelphia this Saturday.
Did your grandfather manage this yard back in the 50s?
He did. He joined in 1954 when the PRR used steam power, then he retired shortly after Penn Central began. He was lucky for that since Penn Central didn't last long and was in trouble most of their life. So I figured. How I got into trains is a bit of a funny story. I grew up in the South Park area of Pittsburgh. When I was younger, I sometimes got to visit my grandfather at the Highland Valley Yard. I met a lot of the engines, including Nick, Frank, Elaine, Alfred, and Joey. Those are the ones I remember best. I see.
Come on, Nicholas. Let's go play faster than light.
What they did not know was that Mike was spying on the engines for Neville because Neville was so lazy at his evil plan.
So at partying we weren't invited.
I know, right? We should invite it.
Let's tell Neville.
What? They're having a party.
All for that stupid conductor retiring.
I wonder what is the invitation list. I will go to Highland Valley at 12 when all those losers are gone to find if one of us is invited.
Good idea.
Hey Kevin, do you know if I am invited to the party?
I don't think so.
Darn it. I wanted to ask what route Nicholas is taking.
I heard he's taking a freight train to Enola with Sean.
Is he taking the Pittsburgh line or the Mont line through Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh line. It's further north than the Mont line.
Don't, and this was a waste of time.
Back at Toronto, Lily wasted hers as well.
Hey Nikki, some Amtrak conductor's retiring and I'm not invited to the party. Should I go anyway to ruin it for everyone and even do a massive drill attack?
No way, you stupid imposter. That's significantly rude.
What? How could you say that?
Don't you remember? I've changed. Now I am a nice engine who doesn't think he controls everyone anymore. Now if you excuse me, I need to get the Canadian to Vancouver, and when I get there, I'm going to have some fun with my real friends. So long.
It's true, he has changed, and I'm proud of him for that.
It is now Friday. Today would be Mr. Morrison's last regular day on the job. On this very day, he was serving as the conductor for the Pennsylvanian.
I wonder who will lead the Pennsylvanian today.
I hope it's Lily. She's as beautiful as a colorful sunset.
No, she's nothing but a...
What was that? Couldn't hear you.
Nobody can lead the Pennsylvanian because it's...
They're so funny when they're muted.
Yeah, but seriously, who will be leading Mr. Morrison's last Amtrak train?
Definitely not Neville.
How do you know that, Michael?
Didn't you hear what happened at 30th Street Station earlier?
How condescending. Those losers get to go to a party tomorrow while I have to do my normal passenger runs. This is terrible.
The smoke from Neville's exhaust stack blinded the painter. Neville was all covered in white paint.
Well, you're not a pleasant sight at all, Dumville.
Well, Dumville, you look like a vanilla ice cream cone. You'll never pull Mr. Morrison's last train like that.
I agree with you. Itaki.
Me too.
Shut it.
But there was worse to come.
Long story short, let's just say he's at the locomotive facility until they can finally clean him off.
That's what he gets for beating me up and trying to ground me for no reason, even though grounded threats are pointless. Also for that time he stole our coaches and got covered in barbecue sauce.
Ha ha ha. That also serves him right for making me trail on the Sunset Limited in front of the humid Sean's camera.
And for making me trail on the Capitol Limited in September 2017.
Poor Neville. Not!
Just then, Marie pulled in as if she were in a rush.
Guys, I know who will take the Pennsylvanian today.
Who?
I heard that Ray is going to take it to Philadelphia. Then an ACS-64 will take over.
Wow, he's lucky.
Well, tomorrow, Lillian and I are going to pull his retirement excursion, so will Evelyn and Raymond.
Good for you, Michael.
Well, I'm off.
Ocean.
last they made it to Philadelphia.
So long. Thanks for the great years.
I hope to see you here tomorrow.
You can count on it.
Adam was switching some cars in his yard.
Where's the snack machine?
It's in the shed.
He was disappointed to see that Dakota had tricked him.
Adam, what are you doing? You're supposed to be switching.
Where's the snack machine? I want some Cheetos.
There's none here, so go back to work.
I was tricked. I better leave before someone other than Tiffany sees this.
But unfortunately for Adam, Amber and Nicholas saw it.
Looks like Adam did it again.
Like always. Ha 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 ha. Adam threw a pick earlier.
The same engine who tries to steal our French fries.
A party? Wish I was invited.
Where did you hear about this, Steve?
Nicholas and Ben were talking about it on the group chat. Why don't we go visit them?
Steve and Lexi, what brings you guys this way?
We heard about your conductor retiring.
Oh yeah.
Well, Lexi and I know what it's like. For all the years we've existed, we've seen people come and go.
We've also attended retirement parties for people in many different areas, mainly people who retired from our railroads.
I don't know, Mr. Morrison, but I'm going anyway.
Well, we'll find out who all is going tomorrow. And with that said, the yard fell silent.
If you are going to Mr. Morrison's retirement party at 30th Street Station today, listen carefully. The party begins at 3 o'clock, but officially begins at 3:45 when the retirement excursion arrives. The party will go on until 5 o'clock. Sir, quick question. Who will be doing our normal assignments? That's one of many reasons railroads buy plenty of engines. Engines who aren't going will cover for you.
What about me on Lucas?
You both still have work to do.
Whatever, at least I have better things to do than sitting at a big station anyway.
Me too.
Since now it's all covered in paint, we have to keep Mr. Morrison without him. Come on, Dave, Larry, Adam, Mike, Maria, and Bozer.
Way ahead of you, Lily.
I still hate you, Dave, Larry, and Lily. It's okay.
Stick with the program, Marie, and please stop hating on Canada.
30th Street Station, here we come.
Everyone was already on their way to the party, including Mr. Morrison's friends from Virginia. Those who were driving left early to avoid rush hour traffic on I-95. The party was ready. All they needed to do was wait for Lillian, Michael, Evelyn, and Raymond to arrive.
Well, Ray, you were so lucky to get to put Mr. Morrison's last train.
Yeah, Lily. But you know that it's a key turbo, and I get to take the Pennsylvanian lot.
It's a favorite assignment of mine.
Mr. Edwards checked his watch. It's 3:41.
Sweet! I can't wait. Also, I might get to see my human self here. And plus, is this where my human self actually lives?
Someone's coming!
Prepare to die, Mr. Gateson.
We are going to end this for good.
It's early retirement for Mr. Morrison.
Oh no, it's them. Quick, activate the burglar alarm.
Burglar detected.
Jack, no sir. Watch the flames.
Sorry, they came out of nowhere.
Arg, how were you all so clever?
We had a feeling you tried something.
Let us in.
Not a chance, Dahlia.
You guys weren't invited.
Can we at least have some cake?
Security.
Only a minute later, Lillian, Michael, Evelyn, and Raymond arrived at the excursion. Mr. Morrison got out and the party began. It was a success. The engines, controllers, former and current co-workers, and general friends of Mr. Morrison had a great time talking to him, sharing memories, and eating food. Some attendees left earlier than others.
Well, this was fun, but I have to go switch boxcars on Columbus Boulevard.
Alright, let's do this. Goodbye, Mr. Morrison. Thank you for all the memories.
I'm off as well. The southbound Palmetto will be waiting for me in Washington, D.C.
As will Northeast Regional number 195.
It's been fun, Mr. Morrison. Marie and I need to take the Silver Star. You ready, Marie?
Sure thing.
And I need to take the Auto Rain.
Well, I'm afraid it's time for Will and I to take 65T.
But it was good meeting you, sir. Good luck with whatever you're doing next.
Thank you much, gentlemen. And thank you for coming.
Our pleasure. We'll see you later.
Thanks for the good memories. It's been a privilege to have you with the Seaboard.
I guess so.
We have to go to Portsmouth and take F-781 to Rocky Mount. Goodbye.
At 5 o'clock, everything was mostly taken down, but the excursion diesels remained to take Mr. Morrison home. Hey, Lillian, something the matter?
Oh, nothing. I'm fine, Michael.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm okay.
So they left Philadelphia for Mr. Morrison's hometown of Greensburg. But a few days later, Lillian's friends noticed that she was feeling unhappy.
So how was the party, my dears?
It was fun. Too bad you didn't go.
Yeah, it was mostly Amtrak locomotives, ex-Seaboard units, and ex-Conrail units that went.
I'm sad.
What's the matter, Lillian?
Supertrain fan, if you pulled his last excursion, you'd understand. I was sad seeing him go.
Mr. Morrison told me we might see him track sites every once in a while.
Really?
Yes, after he retires, he's going to go back to radiophonic.
Whoa, are you serious?
Mr. Morrison never got to route that much during his conductor days. But since he's retired, he now has a lot of time for that.
That's amazing.
I certainly hope he catches us while he will, fans.
I agree, and thanks for telling me that, Lily and Benjamin.
No problem.
I wonder what happened to Dave, Larry, Fate, Lily, Fate, Marie, Bowser, and Mike after they tried to invade the party.
Good question, Matthew. I actually know the answer.
This DPU job sucks. I want to see things going forward, not away from me.
Me too, Dave. And this train doesn't have any junk food.
We'd rather be pulling trains. Having to serve as a helper is humiliating, and all of this had to happen when I was going to make another Tales on CP Railway episode.
I just can't wait until today's over.
This is so much suck. I hate serving with my train DPU instead of working my home rails.
You tried to ruin Mr. Morrison's party and you won't stop messing with engines no matter what, so it serves you right.
Well said, Vera. Moroni, if you keep up your bad behavior, I'm going to wreck you.
Calm down, you're scaring me.
You know what will make this go by faster? Wilson Caramella.
Sweet, I can't wait.
My day is officially ruined. I will make music videos out of you when I get home.
Why can't you give me a chance to lead? I'm just as reliable as you.
Yes, but you'd still try to kidnap me. Besides, I heard that you tried to ruin Mr. Morrison's retirement party, and that was despicable.
It wasn't my idea, Toad. Besides, I only kidnap princesses because I want them to bake me a cake.
We told you ever since you were built, Bowser. Kidnapping is not the way to achieve stuff.
This never would have happened if Via-Rail Lily hadn't talked to me.
But you're right. She is a spoiled brat who impersonates the Amtrak Lily. So are Fake Marie, Delilah, Fatty, Adam, Nephill, and Mike. They all need a bit of discipline.
Is my controller out of his mind? I'm the passenger engine, not the switcher.
Well, looks like you'll be doing something new this time. This will teach you. And if that's not enough, I'm going to record your misery and post it on YouTube later.
This is gonna suck. Mr. Morrison is sure to make fun of me now.
Looks like someone's not having fun.
I can't believe Nikki hates me. Things were different 2 years ago.
I'm bad, and that's good. I will never be good, and that's not bad. There's no one I'd rather be than me.
Now I was forced to cancel rails of the rail. I got more haters. I got repainted. I had my rails taken away, and now I have this boring job. It's been a horrible 2 years.
Man, I hate working with Cure Lemonade. Her railroad took over Southern Pacific and she once led an XSP unit.
I'm not having this, Mike.
Even though I hate you, I agree, Mike. I still think you super crashing into me in 1980.
Well, at least I don't steal French fries unlike you.
If you guys behave, you can join me for lemonade later.
No, thanks.
Never. My goodness, this trip is gonna be hours of pain.
Dave, May I ask why you and your friends tried to ruin the party?
Don't look at me. This was Neville and Lily's idea. They wanted revenge for not inviting us, and since Amtrak was affiliated with the party.
Yeah, what makes it worse is that they wouldn't even let me have some cake.
But you guys didn't know Mr. Morrison, so why would you want to come?
Neville and Lily forced us into this, so for getting us in trouble, they're screwed when we next see them.
So yeah, that's how they were dealt with.
Well, I'm gonna read some Caramella before my assignment.
Please don't. That novel series is weird in my opinion. At least I rated a Takayama Eco cover recently as an art raid.
I can't wait to see Mr. Morrison trackside.
It may happen soon enough.
And it did. As Lillian was taking her excursion with Michael the next day, the two saw a familiar man holding a camera.
Hey, it's him. Hi there.
Hi, Lillian. Hi, Michael. Have a nice trip.
Mr. Morrison may be retired, but the good memories he left behind will never sail away. Whenever he gets a chance, he likes to go out and shoot photos of trains as they pass by. No one is disappointed to see him.
Not you again.
If you pull that stunt again, I'll make fun of when you were promotionally wrapped.
Please don't.
Well, almost no one. But Mr. Morrison's happy after retirement. He still misses the familiar faces and locomotives, but they know that they just might see him again. There are still the many other popular conductors out there, but even if none are named Mr. Morrison, the engines can count on being happy anywhere they go.
Oh boy, Nicholas. I can't wait to ride the bus to school.
How dare you, Will?